And welcome back to the Vlanalog. Today we're going to discuss the So You Think You Can Dance penultimate episode. We we just finished watching that. It was on this past Monday, but we're a little behind because it was Labor Day and we were on a boat. No, we weren't. We were at the horse races.
Sunday night was fireworks.
Yeah, Monday night we were at the horse races. So anyway, we missed it. And so we just watched it now on demand, and we are ready to talk about it. Okay, so first things first, considering we just are starting to discuss this, and like I said, it's the next to the last episode for...
I knew what penultimate meant.
I know you know what it meant. Anyway, so the format this year, thoughts?
To take it a step back, I really wish we prepared before we went into these videos, because I just don't ever know what's coming. But that said, the format this year, I don't know why they called it Stage versus Street.
Exactly.
Because it was just a regular season with stage dancers and street dancers. I'm glad that Twitch and Travis got paid and got some extra work.
Right.
But I don't get the point of it at all. There was no stage versus street element to the show. Exactly.
In fact, it was stage versus stage and street versus street until this most recent episode. And that's what it's like on The Voice, where they have teams, and these teams knock off other people in their team each week. And
they
ultimately...
don't play as a team against a team.
Right. So my theory is, both in The Voice and also in if they're going to do stage versus street, like in this case, for stage versus street, every week the remaining dancers of stage and the remaining dancers of street should have danced like a routine, like their own, a stage routine and a street routine. And then the winner, that group would have been safe. And then the losers, one or two of those people would have gone home that week. And then
like that.
And then that's how it becomes stage versus street.
There's a whole bunch of logistical nightmares that occur to me with, then you have a 2-person stage team versus a 36-person street
Survivor
team.
does that. I mean, ultimately, sometimes you just say, okay, now it's individuals or whatever, but for a while
so
you do it.
So we're going to start voting dancers off the island?
Yeah, essentially. I mean, they make it work. And I actually like their format.
You want Catherine off the island.
I do. She wasn't on that much this year. Thank goodness. But it is again, to kind of come off, if anyone watched my Last Comic Standing vlog. Okay, well, give them some time.
That's more than I've watched any of my vlogs, so.
Anyway. My point there is also my point here. It's like, we don't get to know these people very well anymore. I mean, this one, obviously, it was a longer season, so to an extent, we did, and we got to see their dancing more. But when this show first started, and it was a 2-night-a-week episode, you really got to know the dancers. And, I mean, like, the people that we remember, the people who mean something to the show now, Twitch, Travis, Joshua, they are all... They really mean something.
To see what else you could come up with.
Yeah, well, it's like you got to know them, and like, I mean, think about why we're doing this. Really, you got started with vlogging because you kind of
Dom Sandoval.
Yeah. So
I went to watch a Dom dance video. Then that led me to his comedy channel. That led me to Batoon, and just this spiral. And now suddenly we're pretending we're YouTubers.
Right, and really, I mean, it's like Dom was like a perfect example of how he was hilarious in those packages. Now there's no time for packages. It's dance, 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 dance. And you get to see their technique as much as you ever did, but you don't get to see them as people. And a lot of, like, what you vote for to be the favorite dancer and not the best technical, because I don't really know dance. I mean, I can fake it.
Yeah, the package every week is, oh, it's so challenging. Will they succeed?
Right.
Which is kind of what Dancing with the Stars does with theirs. And I don't like how they're doing it that way either, because I want to know who the contestants are and to learn more about them.
Yeah, I like that side of it, because, I mean, but especially by the time you get to this last competition, all 4 of them, you know they're going to be pretty great technical dancers. So their dance ability is no longer in question. The fact that they got there. And frankly, when they pick the top 10 or 20, their dance ability is not really in question. They kind of know they're good dancers.
Except for the season I made it.
You're right. Except for that one.
Yeah. They burn the tapes.
Anyway, yeah, sometimes I need to find a new guest sometimes. But, he's the only one who shows up. I've made other offers, nobody comes. So, anyway, back to the show. This most recent episode, so after watching it, who are you expecting? And I'm glad to see that it's going to be one winner and not like, oh, we have a stage winner, we have a street winner. It is going to be the final one. It's almost kind of stage versus street, but...
Yeah, I kind of wish they did have a stage and a street, just so they could say that they were doing something stage versus street.
But it wasn't. Then it would have been stage versus stage and street versus street.
Okay.
I just got a notification that the Pirates scored. Okay. Anyway, moving along now.
We would get a vlog camera, but then we couldn't watch the baseball game while we record. So
yeah,
we do it this way.
There's a such thing. I didn't even know there was such thing as a vlog camera.
Well, it's just more of a standard camera than just doing it on an iDevice.
Oh, okay.
I could see any of the 4 winning.
I could not see Haley winning. Not to be rude to her. Technically, very good. There's just something that it doesn't really speak to me.
Yeah, much like Sheriff Longmire, there was going to be a continuation of that sentence. But Haley, probably the least, in part because the stage dancers just generally, I don't think they have the personality. Or maybe not.
I don't know. I mean, I think, because going into this, my 2 favorites were Yaya and Virgil. And I mean, obviously, going into this, there were 4 people left, and that's 50% of them. But, no, going into this from a long time ago, going in, probably since close to week 1 or 2, I picked those 2 from the kind of from the start that I really liked them. And so I kind of wanted to see them but right. Gabby really came up, I think.
Gabby did, and some of this comes down to the American Idol question, too, about who votes. Mm-hmm. Because I don't know who the voting demographic is for this show.
Right.
If they're going to want the...
If it's going to be young girls, I think Virgil has it.
Because he's got that harmless, cute guy... Yes. Quality to him.
Yeah, I mean, he's so excited. Like, he's got the personality, he's got the technique. It's nice to see, I think people are, for some reason, drawn more to street dancers who can do stage than stage dancers who can do street.
Yeah, the show has a long history of promoting that as if that's a greater merit of dance. Sometimes I pause when I'm talking. I'm sorry it's not 100 miles an hour at all times. The show pitches street dancers who can pick up stage dance as somehow innately talented or have an incredible work ethic or something, where for the reverse they're just like, oh, they're trained. Mm-hmm. When it shouldn't be that way. Yeah. Yeah. But it's also like how the show has always pushed contemporary dance as the be-all, end-all of dance. And
I had an issue, kind of, because there's one thing that kind of wins on this show, So You Think You Can Dance, and that is that what people like is that when it tugs on the heartstrings, and it's a contemporary a very heartwarming contemporary dance will win over street almost every time. And that was having the 2 stage dancers do a dance choreographed by their coach, or is that what they call him? He's not the coach, but Travis, no less. And, I mean, he is amazing with anybody, and then it's like, he's the coach, and now he did this too final ones, and they wound up having the best dance of the night. Although followed closely by Virgil and Gabby's, that was choreographed by Philip Shabib, in my opinion. That was also...
That was, I felt, a really...
Unique.
I've seen that style of choreography from him before, like in Dom Sandoval, now at a Dancer videos. But to see it on the stage on So You Think You Can Dance, it was really impressive, and I thought they did it very well. Mm-hmm. So it's good to see Philip getting some work, too.
Yeah, I didn't realize that he did choreography. I don't think he's done too much on this show.
No.
He's done his own, obviously. But that I thought that was my favorite going in up to the point where Travis did his. And I just think they probably then should have had the two street dancers do something street and maybe have Twitch involved or something. Instead they have the two street dancers do a contemporary, and they did well, but it was like, why do they have to do something that's not...
They paid Tukey for so many appearances this season, so they had to finish off her contract.
Yeah.
But no, it didn't make a lot of sense why they...
Yeah. But yeah, like I was saying, I think going into this, I was thinking Yaya and Virgil. I almost think Yaya dropped a bit for me in this episode, the final voting. I don't know why. I don't think it was even so much her dancing. And I think the judges were a little hard on her even at times with their critique, which doesn't help, but it was almost like the way she took the critique. I don't know. I think she was just trying to like laugh it off or something, but it didn't work for me a little bit, and it almost made her drop down. And Gabby, mainly because of the Philip Shabib dance, rose a little. But I think I'm still saying my number one is Virgil. But I don't think that he's probably going to win. He's my number one, but, well, you're my number one. But dance-wise, he's my number one.
She's seen me dance.
But I think for America's number one, I wouldn't be surprised if Gabby wins.
I don't know. I mean, especially with someone like Yaya, who I'm a little more familiar with, and I know they're kind of known in the business and they're already working. This is great exposure. The prize pack would be good, but I also see how it doesn't always matter as much. It's not like the singing shows where I think there's a huge difference between the winner and second and third place.
Yeah.
I think these people are going to keep getting work in their particular style.
Yeah.
Regardless of how they place on the show. And I think...
Although I think the way the format has been, people aren't going to be as excited to see them as the all-stars that come back and dance a little bit. It's not like, oh, Alex Wong's back. Although Alex was in the same kind of situation. There are a few, he was in a not shorter season, but a one-day thing. He wasn't like a 2-night package deal, I don't think. I think he was more recent than that. But for some reason, some people really stand out. And I don't think this season we really had any. I think,
No, and that could also be a product, too, of having two of the more charismatic stars of the show come back as the coaches. Mm-hmm. And then they get camera time instead of the kids.
Yeah. But I like to see him. And
I do, too.
So I'll take it as a viewer. But anyway, just say who you think will win.
Virgil.
I'm going to go with that based on my opinion. But we'll see. We'll see what America thinks. So.
Yeah. There was good dancing either way.
Yeah.
And there's no one I'm pulling for or against this season. So it's...
Yeah.
Even though I've got some nitpicks, it's been largely enjoyable.
Yep. So leave your thoughts as to who you think might win in the comments, and thanks for joining us.